Hello,
We're back.
everybody.
Welcome back. Today
Hi.
we have we're in a different studio. Obviously, we have a new guest today.
Let's go introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jordan Trimble. I'm a boudoir photographer in Greenville, South Carolina.
He got to test out the services today.
Yes,
She
it was
did.
so much fun.
First boudoir shoot.
First ever. Yes, first ever.
Yeah.
By a professional. I've done my own pictures.
My own boudoir in my
yeah,
bedroom.
like selfie mode, but this was an amazing experience. I was nervous.
How do you feel?
Great.
Yeah. Do you feel hot? Do you feel confidence boosted?
I do feel special. I don't have words to explain it. Like I'm still like giddy from earlier.
I feel like you're like glowing. I feel like
She is glowing.
look more after okay. We'll talk about the process more, but getting to see all those pictures, I feel like is definitely confidence.
Like, woo, that's me.
Yeah.
Like that.
Spicy.
Spicy.
Should be in a magazine.
Yeah, I know. So how long have you been doing this?
I've always done boudoir for my brides. I photographed weddings for 10 years, so I always did that on the side for my brides. But I decided last year to go full time with boudoir because I was transitioning out of weddings, and I was like, what would I want to do next, being a photographer in my career? Because weddings had all of my 20s, and now that I'm moving into my 30s, and you just change as you get older, and the older I've gotten, the more I've appreciated myself and appreciated other women and their self-love journeys, and just kind of like how we grow and evolve, and it's been really cool to transition into that and documenting people's like evolution, their own personal evolutions.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are most of the people that you do shoots with brides or just...
No, I would say typically I photograph mostly single women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the little selfie.
Interesting.
Like you said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Am I your first Indian girl?
Yes. Yeah.
We did a little.
I've photographed a lot of people, so I'm like, I had to think about that.
Yeah. First Bollywood theme.
Yes.
First Bollywood theme.
Yes, first Bollywood.
Yeah. Do you do
couples? Bollywood baddie?
Yeah.
Oh, Bollywood baddie.
That's
what I think of the podcast.
Yes.
Episode.
Do it. Bollywood baddie.
Yeah. Bollywood baddie.
Bollywood baddie boudoir shoot.
Patent pending.
Yeah, we're keeping that. It's cute.
I'll let you guys figure it out.
Do you feel like you see yourself differently after that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's just on top of that, the instructions you gave me on how to set, how to lay. I think it makes a big difference because I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, I mentioned it before. I was at home and just like at my body mirror, just doing pauses, and I was like, "Do I look good? Do I look good?" Without thinking how the picture would come out.
Yeah.
But then it's all about the angle and the instructions that you get. Clearly, I did not follow some instructions.
You did a great job.
I tried.
You came up with your own poses, which I appreciate. I was like, okay, that's not what I meant, but that's cute.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel like when I'm listening to the instructions, like I know what I'm listening to, but my muscles are moving in a different way.
When you're half naked, thinking about your body, and
there's lots of things you're thinking about.
Yeah, it's overwhelming for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like do people always like handle it as good as she did? Like, I feel just when we were sitting
did I do well, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, if I was sitting looking at that screen full of pictures, I don't think I would be able to do that in the same day. Like when I've done shoots, I have a really good friend who's a photographer, and she likes to shoot me a lot when I'm in town, and she'll try to show me the picture right after, and I like can't handle it.
Why not?
I'm not there in my journey yet, I guess, to be able to look at the pictures.
What is it about the pictures, like seeing yourself?
I would almost want to see them edited first.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Okay. It's too raw and naked.
I mean, some people feel that way, but I try to encourage people at the beginning. I'm like, hey, I'm a girl too. I don't like every photo that's ever been taken of me. I don't expect you to like them, right? Like I said that, and I say that during my consultations too when I'm chatting with people over the phone. I'm like, someone takes a photo of you on their iPhone and they're like, oh, this is cute, girl. And I'm like, is it though? Can I see it? Don't post that. Like, I want to see it first. So I like to just meet you where you are and meet all my clients where they are like, hey, I'm a woman too. I don't expect you to love every photo I'm going to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I
not.
think with
You're not
clients
gonna
like me,
judge.
you just gotta push it like, see, this is actually cute.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, is it though?
Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
though?
And then
'Cause
that's why
I-
I show you the back of the camera
Yeah.
the entire time too. That way people can
Yeah.
be assured, like, hey, I'm inviting you into this part of this process, and
Yeah.
it's transparent. Like if you don't want to do it or if you don't like it, tell me. We'll tweak it. We'll make it better.
Yeah. And I think that was nice. That was nice. Especially with me, first of all, being plus size, I was and am very conscious about certain parts of my body. So I think it was a good guidance that I got
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
make me feel comfortable.
yeah. And then I deal with a lot of women that are all body sizes, all body types, and then that's why I send out all the prep emails that I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like your coach before I'm your photographer, before I'm your friend. Because I'm like, hey girl, if you're this body type, this is what you should buy. This is what you should not wear.
Yeah.
This is
Make
what
sure
you should
they're-
stay away from. This is what you should bring that you might already have. And then this is where to go get fitted. This is what you should buy online once you get fitted. And all of those things I think help most people coming
Yeah.
into it. But you still bring all of your nerves. And then I'm like, hey, bring your nerves. We're going to channel that. We're going to
Yeah.
make something out of it. Because if someone wasn't nervous, I would wonder if they were, an alien or something.
Yeah.
Like, are you weird?
Yeah.
You should be nervous when you come through the door, and then you should be glowing when you leave. So
Like that one that was your favorite, that you're laughing and smiling, like you were probably nervous. That's probably why you were like laughing.
Yeah, I was like,
that.
I'm about to fall off.
Yeah, and that ended up being one of your favorites.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, I think the candid photo. That's
Yeah,
what they call it.
exactly.
yeah,
The
Candid
more
photo.
natural stage where you're
Yeah.
not like staging, posing so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. I'm excited.
also people like you that smile a lot and laugh a lot, you tend to like the more laughy photos I've found.
Interesting.
Because you
Yeah.
like yourself when you're smiling, and like
Yeah.
if it's part of your personality, people tend to like the photos the most that like pull out their personality.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that one does. It's like,
Yeah.
look at this girl. Cuckoo, kabisa. Like, it's just, yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing about your process, I got to just like watch the whole thing, and I really like, I've worked with a few photographers, like I said, and I like the way that you coach so much through it, because I kind of sometimes when I'm getting pictures taken, I'm like, all right, what do I do now? And you very much have like a process and poses planned ahead of time, and yeah, I feel like that makes it a lot easier, so people aren't like, what do I do with my body, especially in these outfits.
Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into that, but just being a photographer for over 10 years now,
Yeah.
I found that people feel more confident going into a pose if they watch me do it first.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, if Jordan can do it, then I can too.
Yeah.
And then, it just helps you feel more confident throughout the whole time. Like, if I'm getting down and dirty, like, you're going to get down and dirty,
Right.
Like, I just meet people where they are. And then over the years of just, I'm a woman, but I've also been trained to photograph both women and men. And I've been trained like professionally, formally educated, like I have a degree in photography on how to photograph people of all body types and sizes. And you have to photograph a very tall man a completely different way than like a petite 21-year-old girl. Like
Yeah.
you just have to like photograph them and treat them differently. And that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
To someone who is gonna consider doing this, what would you say? Someone like me who would maybe want to, but is scared and self-conscious and too judgy on themselves.
Well, I would ask you, why are you scared?
I don't know. I think it's just
Let's
I don't
make
know.
this your therapy session.
Because what if I sit and took 200 pictures like we just did and I don't like any of them? Because I will literally do that.
I'm so confident in my job and who I am and what I do, and I'm confident in making other people feel confident that I've never had someone not like their pictures.
Yeah. Valid.
Yeah.
I'm good at what I do, and like I said, I'm formally educated. I've been trained. I've been doing this for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot, right? Like
Secret
I've taken a
angles
lot
and-
of bad photos of people.
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of photos that people hated. I'm not gonna be.
But then
you know.
and you're a step closer to what they'll like and work
Yeah,
together.
Yeah, and but I think the difference is when people meet me there. So she came today already loving who she is. She's like,
Confident as hell.
I've come so much like further in my journey, and like, I'm not like exactly where I want to be, but I still love myself more than I used to. And when you meet me in the middle, I can meet you there. Now, I've photographed ladies that didn't give me any energy the whole time.
Yeah.
They're just stiff. They're being difficult. They're complaining. They're hungover. They slept in late.
And I'd be like, why am I even doing this? Why did I come here?
They didn't read my emails. They
Yeah.
didn't bring what they were supposed to bring. And then they're just like, if they're uncomfortable the whole time, it's going to show in their photos.
It's gonna be harder to, yeah.
If you're not leaving all your crap at the door, it's going to show in your pictures.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to say that when I would do weddings too, like, hey, don't talk through your teeth. I can see it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're all fighting all day long because it's a wedding and it's stressful,
right,
that's going to show in all the family pictures.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to look grumpy as hell. Like,
Yeah.
The energy you come in with is important.
It's important. And if you agree to meet me there, I agree to meet you there.
Yeah.
And if you tell me you're nervous, I'm going to make you as comfortable as I can. But then eventually you have to, like, let me in.
Yeah, you can't
You have
do
to
all the
trust
work.
me. Yeah, and you have to trust the process. And I say that, I mean, typically when someone doesn't trust the process, that's the most challenging client.
Yeah, they probably weren't ready to do it yet.
And
Probably
that's what
not.
I feel. Like
Yeah.
if you are not trusting the process, you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing when it comes to real estate. I don't know why I always compare everything to real estate, but it's the same thing. If you're not gonna take that first step, you're not ready.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I feel if I did it, I probably would feel better after. You know, I see the picture and I'm like, all right, fine, I look good.
I mean, you do. You would.
I'm one of those people that I'll literally take 50 pictures of myself before I'm like, oh, this is the one.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, I'm a photographer, and I feel like I can't take a selfie to save my life.
Really?
So it's different when a professional that has been trained to photograph angles and body types. I mean, what I see is completely different than how you see yourself.
Right.
It's completely different.
And maybe that's part of it. You
It
see
is part of
yourself on so much, you know, that I'm used to my own angles and my own. I'm like, all right, now I have to give up some control and let someone else guide me a little bit. And I struggle there.
Have you done boudoir shoots for couples?
I have. I've done a few. I'd like to do a lot more.
I've seen pictures. Those are beautiful when people do those.
They're a lot of fun. They're not as like weird as people think that they would be. And then couples tend to get like just really comfortable around me. And it's always the men that tend to be like a little more hesitant. They're like, oh, I don't know, honey. And then they're always the ones that have the most fun.
Yeah.
They're like, that was so cool. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
You know? So
I loved another girl watching me doing stuff with my wife.
I was like, don't photograph pornos.
Can't get too spicy.
Yeah. There's a fine line between boudoir
Right.
and erotica. So
Very-
a legal fine line.
Very fine. I
Illegal.
feel like when you're getting these pictures. Yeah, I can imagine. I was gonna ask, have you ever done a guy alone?
I haven't. It's something that I'm open to. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I mean, I would have an assistant here.
Safety.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely do that.
Interesting.
And your dog. They have all your army members.
Yeah.
I have a husky for those listening.
Guard dog.
Yeah, guard dog.
She's absolutely useless. The first time I like brought her home, she was a stray. She'd been in the house for like, a couple days or something. And in the 2 years that I lived at this house, like I had never heard the doorbell ring. And someone rang the doorbell and she like looks at the door. She looks at me. And then she takes off and dives under the bed. And I was like, wow, okay. I got you to protect me.
Yeah.
You are absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world. That's how my dog is. My dog.
Your dog's also this big.
Yeah, my dog. She's a Pekingese. So she's a very small dog.
She's an
But
accessory.
She
Yeah.
she is. The
Basically.
most she has is her voice. She can bark all day to you. She'll growl all day with you.
She's an
But-
ankle biter.
But
I'm scared of her.
She gave me the scar on my nose.
We've done close-ups on that scar already, but she literally almost bit
Yeah,
his
she
nose
like
off.
bit my nose.
Wait, that happened right before I met you.
Yeah, it was
At the
right
event,
before.
like,
Yeah,
fresh.
it was
Yeah,
right
yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
It was right at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We met a couple days later.
Yep.
Your
It
sweet
was.
guard dog.
Yeah, but she's like a sweet little dog.
She's not sweet.
It doesn't
Any
seem that way.
doorbells come through.
You
people
have a
come
scar
through,
that says otherwise.
You know.
I stayed the night there last night and she's barking at me when I wake up in the morning. Like I slept
She's
here.
just-
Yeah, I'm already inside the
a
house.
old dog. She doesn't like company.
Yeah.
Okay. She's just like, hey, I'm old. Just don't bother me.
Yeah.
Who are you? Why are you using the bathroom that I'm not supposed to be using? You know.
Okay.
That's what.
So, all right. As far as finding your clients goes, what's that? Are you doing like mostly social media marketing? Are you just meeting people, or just showing your work that you've done? How are you getting? people in there?
I would say typically it's the word of mouth referral.
Yeah.
That's where most people come from. Like I shot their friends, and so now they're coming to me.
'Cause you've been in the business for so long.
But I do a lot of social media marketing presence. Yeah, that's typically how people find me.
Do people usually let you use their pictures to market with, or most people?
I would say it's half and half. So also in the marketing side of it, I have a private boudoir community with over like 700 members in it now. So a lot of people see work in there. Like we'll share some of your photos too if you're comfortable sharing them. But yeah, I would say half and half. So 50% of clients don't want anything shown. 50% do. So I actually have a permission slip that I'll have you sign to that I have everybody sign at the end of their shoot. And there's like 4 or 5 different options. So like one option is you can share whatever you want, Jordan, wherever, as long as it's tasteful, like anywhere, online, website, social media, whatever. You can only share inside the Facebook group because the Facebook group is women only. So a lot of people do that. And some people are like, you can show any shot that is anonymous or non-identifying. So that's typically booty shots, you know, up close detail shots, things like that. And then I have another option that's like you can share this specific photo from my gallery.
Like only the ones she liked or something.
Like the ones that they pick, but no one ever wants to do that. So they're usually like, yeah, share, or no, don't. So.
Yeah, I'll be that. I'll be like, just share.
Whatever.
Maybe it's going to be out there. Just put it out there.
Yeah,
make sure you edit all the stuff that I tell you.
I edit everybody. Smoothing, freckle removal.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, like I think for me, I think the most things I don't feel like I have anything on my face that always needs to be edited. Like I feel like the thing that I would be like focus on this would be my arms and my balls. I think that would be the thing that I'll be like. Edit those, the rest can go wrong.
Yeah.
And again, that comes to angles too, right? So there's certain angles that, like, for me personally, like, I don't love my arms. So, like, when we're like this, our arms look bigger.
Different.
Yeah. Then, like, oh, let me, like, prop my arm out like this. And then same could be said about, like, your stomach. So, like, everybody looks better laying down stretched out. Everybody. Or standing, because we're more stretched out. That's just how it is. Versus, like, you know, when we're all sitting, we all get, like, little rolls, you know, little pooches, whatever. So it's just knowing your angles, me knowing your angles. Yeah. So that's why, like, I'll send out a questionnaire before a client comes to the studio too. Yeah. I'll say, hey, what body type are you? What size are you? Because I want an idea. And I also have in there, like, what skin type are you for, like, the hair and makeup artist. Yeah. And there's just so many pieces that go into it that I consider and think about before you come to the studio.
Yeah, I was going to say, or most people probably are coming with, like, hey, just a heads up, I don't really like this or this or...
Yeah, in the questionnaire, I have that too. I'm like, hey, what, you know, would you like me to minimize or conceal? Yeah. What is your favorite feature about you that you'd like for me to highlight? And some people say, yeah, like, I love my collarbone. I love my chest. I love my butt. I had a client one time, she was like, I absolutely hate my legs. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's going to be hard with
That's a tough one.
But immediately, you know, go into coach mode, and I've been trained for all these years. I'm like, well, girl, get you some stockings. Yeah. Like, if you hate your legs, get stockings, get a garter belt. And she was like, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, they probably were so cute.
Yeah, so cute, so cute. And then I told her to get a corset to go with it, and she absolutely loved all her pictures.
Yeah, so. See, that's the benefits of working with a professional.
And that is true, a professional who can guide you. Yeah, it's different when you just pick up some
random or doing it with a friend.
Photo, you don't get all that inside.
Well, that's why it's different. Like when you're saying you're taking your own pictures. Yeah. You know, it's different when somebody else is doing it. Someone else is telling you, "Hey," that's why. Like, if I have an assistant, I don't really let them touch the model that much because I'm going to be standing in a completely different place. Yeah. The angle is going to look completely different to me. And if you're like, oh, this hair is in their way or this hair is messed up, I'm like, it's probably not messed up from where I'm standing from, but now we've messed it up.
Right.
Yeah, it's like when you go up on the ladder and stuff doing your photos. I was like, girl, she's out there.
Yeah. So
where did she go? Like a couple of times I was like, where is she?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, she's going to the fence.
Yeah, so that's a secret hack too, like that they taught me in photography school is if you get up higher, you can make someone look smaller. Yeah. But then for like, let's say I was photographing a male, I would get lower because men look more powerful when you photograph them from a lower angle. Women look more vulnerable. So, you know, it's all about knowing like who you're photographing, what you're photographing, what is the message you're trying to portray? Are we trying to
spicy versus business photos?
Yeah. So if like a woman was doing like business headshots, like I would photograph her slightly lower, you know, have her cross her arms and stand tall, and it's all about the message that you're trying to portray with whatever frame.
Interesting, you know. I've never thought about the message that you're trying to give out. Yeah. It's always like, hey, how do you look? Pretty? Click.
Nope.
Click.
Yes, the selfie age.
Flirty.
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 Click.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never thought about the message that you're trying to put out there.
Well, I know the message you were trying to send today.
Hopefully it worked.
I definitely think you did a great job. I think it worked.
So like I've been like on edge like for 3 days. I was just like, oh my god.
Well, she's been so nervous about it.
I wore my lingerie like more than 5 times.
Oh well, you should.
Try it.
No, like I was like Sydney. Okay.
Just to be clear, I've received pictures. Probably
collage.
Twice, maybe 3 times now. Collage together, separately, Snapchats. And then when I'm there last night, she tries them all on again.
Like, okay, how about you look at them in person?
Yeah.
Well, I also received pictures.
Yeah.
And we can narrow it down, and then I'm going to bring them all anyway.
Exactly. Listen, when I was taking all those photos, Andrew was like, what are you doing with all those photos?
He's like, are they for me?
I'm sending it to my boyfriends because Sydney is my boyfriend.
Okay.
According to my husband.
Snapchats me so much.
Snapchat. Yeah. So I sent her, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to send it to Jordan too. And he was like, Jordan? Who's Jordan?
That could be a boy name.
And I was like, Jordan, the photographer, the girl, the lady. And he was like, oh, okay.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, I was out there. I was like sending it to all my girls. I was like, hey, girl.
Hey, yeah, well.
Pick your favorite. Pick your favorite.
Yeah. I mean, anytime I'm working with, a bombshell, as I like to call them, and it's approaching towards their shoot, I always say, hey, if you're out shopping, send me a picture. Send me selfies. Yeah. If you're trying stuff on and you're not sure how it looks or how it fits, send me pictures. I get so many unsolicited pictures. But I'm like, well, I kind of asked for them. So.
Right, yeah. And one of the ladies on our group had commented on one of our pictures. I don't know whose picture was it, but they were like, make sure you try everything because you may be surprised of how it looks when you're actually in front of the camera or having pictures taken.
Yeah.
Because that corset one, everybody was like, looks good, maybe, yes. And then when the pictures come out, because I think one of the models did that recently.
Yeah, and
it turned out really good.
I think that's a big part of boudoir, right? Like when people decide to do it, like let's say you decided to do it, it's totally out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with lingerie. Like go into the store, try on something that might intimidate you, that you would never try.
Yeah.
Because you're already putting yourself out there and doing something that you thought you would never do.
Yeah.
So you might as well try something and see if you like it. Because I've always been surprised when I try on things and I'm like, no, that's not my style. And then you put it on, and you're like, oh damn, who is she?
Yeah. Yeah. Try the comfort thing and surprise yourself.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Have you done like lingerie shoots yet?
No.
Do you want? I know you want to. I didn't know if you did one in the past. Have you done one for yourself?
I've done 2. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
How
what
was that?
I was gonna ask, like, was that like a part of you getting into this? Like, did you do it and fall in love with it, or that was just you're like, I want one and?
So the first one I ever did, it was when I was getting married, and I'm divorced now. And that was with a friend from photography school. And she, since I already knew her, she made me feel really comfortable, and she did it all the time. So that was a really cool experience. I still have those pictures. They're beautiful. I mean, I look completely different now. That was almost 10 years ago, but those are really beautiful. And then I did one again for myself in 2022. Like I hired a different photographer to do it instead of like, I can take my own, like with my camera. I have like a remote control. Like I can take my own with my camera. But as far as having, because it's different if somebody else does it. It's different. Like I can't tell what hair is out of place, you know, like but a professional photographer could. Yeah, and that was a really fun experience. But I was already doing like boudoir. I just love working with women, and I love. I think a big part of why I got into it was just when I was moving out of weddings and thinking about what will I do next. And let me back up. People always ask me like, how did you get into photography or why do you like it? I never got into it because I was a good photographer. Like my professors would tell you that I was not I was always getting B's, C's, D's on all my assignments. Sometimes I wouldn't even bring my camera and they'd be like, Jordan, why are you here?
You're like, I'm figuring it out.
I'm here for the vibes. Like, and I got into it because I love people.
Yeah.
So I would have done, any job that involved people, but I happened to be kind of creative, kind of good at photography. So I was in school over 10 years ago for business, and I was the campus photographer at all the colleges that I participated in. And one of the colleges I went to, I had this mentor, and he was like, Jordan, you're pretty good at this. Have you thought about going to school for photography? And I was like, no, absolutely not. Why would I do that? And so I transferred, and then I went to photography school and got a photography degree. And then that's how like all of that came about. But it was never like the plan, and that was over 10 years ago. And now I've been doing photography ever since.
Yeah, it's the most unexpected thing
I
sometimes.
know.
Yeah. But then when my mom died a couple years ago, I was looking through like some of the stuff, like some of the pictures. And there's a picture of me at my 5-year-old birthday party, and I have like my first pink Barbie camera.
Aww.
And I'm like, whoa, was
You're
this
like,
always supposed to
that's
be?
full circle.
Oh yeah, it was such a weird thing to see. I was like, wow, I need to frame this picture, put it
was
on my
like
website or something.
I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
You followed your dream.
Yeah.
Followed your path that
Even
was
if
laid
you,
out
even
for
if you
you.
forgot for a few years.
Yeah.
5-year-old
Yeah.
You came back to your room.
Yeah.
That's cute.
But I think the coolest part of doing just this boudoir world is all of the women that I get to help, because what I'm doing, like, weddings are beautiful, they're important for most people other than me. It's once in a lifetime, right?
I'm divorced too.
For most people, for most people, that's a big deal. It's a big day. But I have noticed over the last 10 years, my photos resurface at a funeral. Like that's the best photo that they have of somebody from the family that died. They get framed up on the wall, and then they might post them on social media on their anniversary. But that's about the extent of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like they have these pictures that their kids can look at, or grandkids. Right. With Boudoir, I've noticed that I'm actually making like an impact.
Yeah.
People will text me weeks later. You probably will. And they'll send me selfies. They'll be like, I'm going on a date tonight. I would have never worn this if I hadn't done a shoot with you. Or I'm going to this music festival. I bought this spicy outfit. I would have never, ever worn this if I hadn't done a shoot with you. And this is months later.
That's a good feeling.
And they're like, I'm still like, and then there are people that have ran out to me in public, and they're like, Jordan, you don't understand, but like now I don't avoid mirrors.
Yeah.
Like I'll actually like look at a mirror, like, or I'll be out in public in a mall, and it's like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
After you see yourself in that light that you give them.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's a big deal to have boudoir photos done. I think every woman should, because you should be able to see yourself the way someone else sees you.
Yeah.
Because then we are less hard on her.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many people have sat on this couch, they look at their pictures and they just cry because they can't believe that that's them.
That'd be me.
And I'm like, I'm super encouraging.
I almost cried over there. I was like, oh my God.
It's overwhelming.
It's a vulnerable experience, and it takes a lot to strip down in front of a stranger. But I try to be very encouraging and like, hey, you have a little bit of makeup on, your hair is done, okay. But that's your body, and you took my direction, you listened, you did the angles that I told you to do. So give yourself some credit and don't be so hard on her.
Yeah.
Her being your body, you know? Like, and then everybody is always, I've never had someone walk away not changed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you one thing in advance. Thanks to this photo shoot opportunity.
You're welcome.
I actually did go out of my comfort zone and tried all those lingerie.
Yes, girl.
Okay,
yes, girl.
So in normal life, like I don't even own a lot of that
when we
stuff.
started this process, when she was like, she called me the day and she was like, hey, so we got that, the podcast booked, with the Boudoir girl, and she's telling me about it. She's like, what the hell am I gonna wear? She was like, I don't own a piece of lingerie. And she was, those first couple weeks you were very anxious about like even getting it, and then I wouldn't stop receiving pictures. Right. So that to today.
Because in my life,
so much growth.
Yeah. Right. Because in my life, lingerie, even my husband, and this is super funny and it's maybe TMI, but who cares? Like my husband even says, lingerie, babe, it looks great, but 5 minutes later it's on the floor.
Yeah.
Why do you even wear it? You don't have to wear it. So I never ever went out of my way to be like, let me buy lingerie because my husband actually will keep it on me.
Right.
Or,
but it's fun.
Or when I was single, my boyfriend would keep it on me or whatever. It's always like 5 minutes later, it's on the ground. So I'm like,
but
I'll just keep reusing it.
You kept it on longer. And now you might feel differently about it.
Now
you might be like, hey, I'm going to put this on even
I'll just sit around in it naked. I'll just sit around in it.
Yeah.
You might show up at my house one day and I'll be just chilling in lingerie.
With a little robe on, just hanging out.
Just like,
you're changing.
Have my little veil.
Wrapped up. Yeah.
I think I like the Bollywoody one.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah, I
the
love
very
that
first one that
picture.
we
It's
picked.
so beautiful.
And hopefully that lets in a new, cultural market.
Right.
Yeah,
That is
that would be
one thing
cool.
I'm very excited. Like, when you posted that thing on your page and I posted Bollywood in it and you brought up the whole idea, I was like, oh my God, I wonder, like, there's so many Indian girls, women just that I know
Bougie.
who
They are
they're
bougie and beautiful things
yeah,
to be worn
like,
and done.
and I'm just like, this is a good opportunity to just tell those Indian women, like, well, because culturally, Indian women are not just gonna go out there and do all this stuff,
Right.
because they're very conservative, private, keep it in between these walls. Nobody needs to know what we do inside here, out there.
They might not all want to be marketed, but
right, but
print that canvas out for your man.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited for that. I wish we could. Maybe we can do one just Bollywood and make it extra dramatic.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get some henna in there.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a shoot. He said, "I wish I had a back tattoo."
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I want to get, like, the next time we do it with like the henna tattoo and stuff. Make it actually traditional and just focus on that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
When we have more time and
like,
plan it out better.
Have like that, fan going.
Oh yeah,
and the
blowing your hair
is
there
like
in a Bollywood film.
Flying.
Yeah.
And the hair is just blowing. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I definitely can't say I love to work with women, but I do understand that, like, I did makeup for a long time, and like that started when I was like in high school. But I would do makeup for people for dances, and that feeling of like, and half the time I'm doing makeup on girls who never wear makeup, or they're just doing very light makeup. So when I glam somebody up and they look in the mirror for the first time, that feeling, like,
it's very similar.
Yeah, they're very happy, or like then they start, like you said, they'll start venturing out. Like even with her, the first time I did her makeup, she felt real good after, but then she'll bring out a new lip color.
It's like an attitude shift.
Yeah. And
it is
good to be able to
attitude
give that.
Shift that cost me money.
I'm glad I could give that too.
But you are worth it.
Yeah, I am. Like today she was
too.
doing my makeup and I was like, okay, I don't know half the crap that you own, that, right?
Yeah, we make do.
We'll make do.
We make do.
Yeah, we use what we gotta do.
Yeah,
but we do that here too.
I would have never done this. Just looking at this eye palette, like
it's
the
a
palette,
perfect smoky eye.
Yeah, but just looking at the palette in front of me was making me so nervous that even the day she gave it to me, I didn't use it. I was like, I don't think I can do this without you.
That's a real friend, though, that gives you an eye palette.
I gave her two eyeshadow palettes.
That's a real friend.
And I was like, you can do this.
You can do this.
And then she still put the makeup on and FaceTimes me, and I'm tutorialing through FaceTime.
She's like, blend.
Blend.
It looked good.
Blending is my cardio.
Yeah, a little bit of blending.
And I don't do that much makeup on a daily anyway. So the most that you'll see me is my eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Little blush.
Yeah, but when you come out and you're like, I got this new lip color. What do you think? I'm like,
yeah,
I feel like I had something to do with that.
I feel like
I do give her all the credit. You'll get all my lingerie credit. You'll get all my makeup credit.
Now every time she buys a piece of lingerie, you're gonna get a picture.
I'm gonna get a picture.
She is for real. She's gonna be like, next shoot.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that.
Something new. Yeah.
I love it. Most ladies do, like, boudoir adds a little bit of spice to the marriage, to the relationship, whatever. And then it adds a little bit of spice to your life. And a lot of people do. They end up, like, shopping. It's like that girl that texted me. She was like, look at this music festival outfit. I would have never worn this. Yeah. And I'm like, you look amazing. Why would you not wear that?
Yeah.
So, it does add a lot of spice to multiple areas of your life once you do it. So don't be shocked. Like, you'll just be a different version of you the rest of the year.
You popping.
Look at you now. Yeah.
I know. I'm excited.
So you said you were a creative before as well. Do you do anything else creative? Like, where was your creativity, or do you just like love the editing and like the the photography portion?
I don't know any photographer that loves editing.
Everyone
if they do, they're lying.
I think everybody hates editing their own things. Like she will, like our podcast videos and stuff, shorts, or our own small videos on Snap. She'll be like, "Oh my god, I don't want to watch it."
I can't listen to my own voice. I won't watch any of our podcasts. I don't hardly watch the short. I can't do it, and I think it's because I critique myself so much.
Mhm.
Like if you did a boudoir shoot, are you gonna edit your own pictures? Could you
I mean,
handle
I
that?
would. Oh yeah.
Oh, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I
She's
couldn't
go
stand
crazy,
for-
nitpicking everything.
I
What
delete
is
the damn
that hair?
picture.
Yeah, she's doing
like, forget
Yeah,
it.
we gotta work on some stuff.
I
with
know.
you.
She's a.
My therapist is full of too many other issues right now. We'll get to the
We'll
confidence.
get to that.
And it's so funny though because like anytime I say shit like this, people are like, "I would have never thought you would even say that." I'm like, "Well, that's what I want you to think." Okay.
That's what I want. So it's working.
Yeah, yeah. However, the internal part is going to take longer.
But yeah, I mean, when I was 4, 5, 3, I mean, I was always coloring. I was always drawing.
Artsy.
Yeah, probably painting, drawing were my first loves, and then writing, and then I found photography like later in life, which is also a really weird, kind of crazy story. But I'm actually blind, like in my left eye, so I'm actually like a one-eyed photographer, and it usually comes up organically, and I can't believe it hasn't come up till now in this conversation. Yeah. But yeah, so I went blind when I was 14, and when that happened, like. I grew up in a really, really, really poor home. And so we didn't even do family vacations. We were so poor. So when all of this stuff happened to me medically, we actually had to fly me like all over the country to like have all these procedures and operations done. So when that happened, I got like my first little point and shoot camera because I'd never been to an airport. And so I started like documenting my medical journey. I was pulled out of high school, like I was on hospital homebound, and I was just alone like all the time. So I started just documenting my little life. But then, like, when eventually I was introduced back into school, I went back for senior year, like all this stuff, I still wasn't like, oh, I want to be a photographer, and I was on the yearbook staff, newspaper staff, and I would like take pictures of sports events and like whatever. But I just still didn't think that I would do photography. I wanted to go to school to be a journalist, I wanted to like be overseas in the war zones and be a journalist. And I had all of these huge aspirations. And I didn't imagine that it would ever wind up here. Especially going blind, like in my left eye, like I didn't think I'd be a photographer.
That's
you need to be able to see a little bit better to do that. But that is just not what happened.
It is crazy what can happen with just one, like when you're missing one sense or when you're missing like a functional body part, and how much you adopt to other parts of your body.
They say other things will advance.
Like other senses. Go on power mode, like overpower mode.
Do you feel like it affects you at all doing your photography work?
No, because I was so young when it happened.
Yeah.
Like I was 14 when it happened. So by the time I became a photographer when I was 19, I learned how to drive with one eye. Yeah. So, I've almost been alive as long as I've had like this condition. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Have you ever like had any issues at the DMV where they don't issue your license?
No, because I always wear contact, and then they have no idea because they don't make me test eye by eye. Right. If they made me do that, they would find me out.
They don't know.
But could I get a handicap sticker? Absolutely. And my grandmother like harasses me about that all the time. She's like, if you had a handicap sticker, I wouldn't have to walk so far. I'm like, okay, grandma.
Bring yours.
And she's like, you are blind. I'm like, throwing shade, grandma. Chill.
Like, not entirely.
I'm so young and independent and mobile. What are you? Like,
bring your own. Bring your own handicap.
Bring your own, grandma.
That is crazy though. That is so crazy.
Yeah, so I actually have a bunch of old pictures that I could show you guys later, but like when all of that was going on, like my eye wouldn't reflect light, so I looked like, the cloudy, like blue eye. And then I had a cornea transplant when I was 18, 19, and when that happened, it kind of like, it took several months to heal from that, but then that's why my eye looks normal now, is because I had the transplant.
That's so much to go through so young.
Yeah, well, story of my life.
Eye stuff scares me.
It is terrifying.
I have a 2-year-old who poked me in the eye one time. I was like, this is it.
Yep, this is it. I'm done for.
I'm down one.
So yeah, don't take a shower in your contacts, kids. Don't do that. That's my advice.
That's how it happened? Mm-hmm. Showering in contacts?
Yeah, so I had a cut on my eye that I didn't know about, and water, even our water here is contaminated. So there was a parasite in the water. A parasite invaded my cornea, ate my cornea, and it took like over a year to kill, and it completely blinded me. So I wasn't born blind. It just happened when I was 14.
Did you feel any of that happening?
Oh, yes. It was convulsions, pain. Gosh. I was on painkillers as a 15-year-old. Like, that's just nothing.
Eye pain is the worst too. Like,
so it's actually like, if this isn't too much for the podcast, but it's actually the most sensitive organ next to like your reproductive parts.
I would have never known.
It's the most sympathetic.
That makes sense though, because when he poked me with those tiny toddler nails, I
Oh,
felt
gosh.
like
Ooh.
the world was ending.
Ooh,
I was
yeah,
like,
no.
You
You probably did have a scratch on your eye.
I could see it. And my grandma was like, you're going to have to go to the ER. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to sleep and it's going to go away. And thank God it did, because I was really, really terrified.
Oof,
That's very scary. I can't believe that's how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Just don't shower in front.
eyes are very sensitive.
That's scary.
I mean, a lash goes in there, and you're like,
oh yeah,
oh my god, spices go in there, and that's it.
Don't even get me started about when you have a full face of makeup and something happens to the eye and you're watering and you're like, and I have very sensitive eyes as it is, so this is like, like I can barely go outside without sunglasses on, like, so I couldn't imagine.
She's that girl you'll see her at like the fresh market with her shades on.
I can't. I have
at the club with the sunglasses on.
This is so irrelevant, but I have like dents right here from wearing my sunglasses so much, and I know that's what it's from because nobody else has them like this.
She's like, she'll be thrifting. With shades on.
It's a disguise. Yeah, I'm kidding.
That's so funny. She's hiding from the paparazzi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. With that red jumper suit.
Okay, well,
so cute. Anyway,
we didn't say where we're at. I mean, so for people who might want to work with you, you work out of Greenville.
Yep.
Strictly.
No, not strictly. I am willing to travel, but my studio is in Greenville.
Yeah. How far do you travel? How far have you traveled for work?
For Boudoir, not that very far, a couple hours. But when I was doing weddings, I traveled as far as California, Colorado, Alaska. I traveled all over.
Alaska for a wedding?
Yep.
Was it beautiful?
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that wedding made me a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, just from people seeing those
Did they
pictures.
fly you out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. So that was really
That's
cool.
fancy.
that is.
That's fun.
I told her.
It sounds more glamorous than it was.
You're logging
I don't miss that life anymore. Like
6 feet in snow, just like jumping around.
It was in the summer, thankfully.
Oh,
but
yeah. I feel like that's why photographers niche in so much. They're like, you gotta love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know? And you can't. It's like you can't do a wedding one day and then a boudoir. You got a whole different setup from.
Yeah. Yeah. It just got to a point where I was just traveling so much, and the workload, the lifestyle. I mean, I just changed as a person.
Yeah, it would kind of put everything on hold. Like if you're traveling every weekend for a wedding.
Yeah.
Can't do much else.
No, and that's kind of where I got to a point a couple years ago. I was like, I love people, but I don't love photographing their lives on the weekends. Like I would like to have my own life.
Yeah.
And what could I do, where I could work, quote unquote, a normal job, like a normal 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, like most people, even though I'm always working as an entrepreneur, being self-employed.
Yeah.
I just really wanted my weekends back. I wanted to be home more. I wanted to be with my dog. I just wanted to have a normal social life because my life was filled with editing thousands of photos, not just 30 or 40 for a boudoir shoot, thousands all the time. And if I was doing like 30, 40 weddings a year, I mean, I had no life.
That's crazy.
And that's fine for your 20s because you're young, but the older I get, I'm more like, no, I don't want that anymore. That's just not who I am.
Yeah. And the price has got to go up and the schedule gets less.
Yes. And then, I mean, not to get on a whole tangent, but the wedding industry took a complete nosedive after 2020. Like everything changed because everybody wanted to do like micro weddings, elopements. There were so many reschedules. I had to hire a team in 2021 to replace me. Jeez. So I'm like, okay, not only am I not even here giving my clients the quality of service that they deserve because I can't be present because there's so many reschedules. I have to be in one place. My team has to be in another. If anything goes wrong, I'm not there.
Right.
I mean, I had teams in Georgia, North Carolina, all over, and I was like in South Carolina, and it just became so chaotic. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
It's a lot to manage.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
You have more control of your time, your space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going everywhere every weekend.
And I love it more. And I'm making a difference. And I'm affecting like mental health. Mental health is huge for me.
Sure.
It's a big personal platform that I have. And knowing that I'm making like a dent in mental health and helping other women, I don't know, it just means so much more to me. It's way more rewarding.
That is, and I'm very excited about that, just even for me, like my mental health, like being Indian, I tell her all this all the time, but the way I see myself is totally different than what they see me in. Because I grew up with my mom and my aunts constantly bitching about you're 10 kgs and you're overweight. I could weigh like air and I'm still overweight for them. I could look the sexiest. I'm feeling great, but they would find something to nitpick. So when I even agreed to do this whole thing, it was like a mind shift, because I was like, now I have to block out what my mom, because there'll be some days when I'm like dressed up and then I'll be thinking about what's my mom saying in my head. Like,
Yeah.
the voices in your head because you've heard it so long,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's a good thing that other women will get to experience that, and so will I. Like,
Yeah.
There's something about that generation.
It is. It is some cuckoo generation.
It's very generational, and
Harsh.
people can say what they want about social media or selfies or whatever, but I have found that we are way more inclusive now. We're way more as a whole. I mean, we all have our insecurities, we all have like our mental health issues, right? But as a whole, I think in general, our generation is way healthier
Right.
than theirs, because my mom was the same way. She was like, you can't wear leggings, cover your butt. What do
Yeah.
you mean I can't wear leggings? Like, that was the first thing I did when I left for college. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm buying a bunch of leggings because they're comfortable and they're pants.
Right.
And it was like, cover your butt, don't show too much, don't be too this, don't be too that. And I mean, they're also the ones that pick their eyebrows completely off, you know, and dyed their hair crazy colors and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, there was something about that generation. But think about it, the supermodel was introduced during that time.
Yeah.
Like,
There was
were
different things
a
in the
lot of
media.
things, like Victoria's Secret was introduced during that time. There are a lot of things that I think affected women negatively, but that
Right.
they started projecting
build
onto
that.
their children.
Right.
Yeah. And it
So
was easier to like say this is the standard and this is it. Now I feel we also have so many different outlets and body positive companies, and there's so much more out there that we're like, look, you can say this, but I know I'm gonna come in this room and she's gonna tell me I look hot. So you can have your opinion, but I'm gonna run with this one, and hopefully those thoughts can be replaced by today's experience.
Yeah.
for sure.
It's a process, but it will.
One day.
I know today I look hot.
Yeah.
I don't know about tomorrow, but today I don't care what mommy says.
And only show the people that are gonna say you look
Oh
hot.
yeah. Mom's not gonna see
No,
me.
she's.
Mom will
doesn't
be
matter.
like.
She'll be like, what the?
Where?
You did what?
Where?
Yeah.
A boy was a Jordan? A boy was
Taking pictures of you?
No.
Yeah.
Mom, Jordan's a girl.
That's something that I tell clients too, though, is like on your worst days, look at your pictures.
Yeah.
Because that's who you are.
Oh yeah, for a week once I get my one whatever my favorite, I'll put it on my own screensaver.
Yeah.
You need to literally put canvas in your room. Like next to your
above the
your
bed.
full body mirror.
This
like,
is me.
Yeah.
I have like a 6x6.
Yeah.
You're right. Look at me. You
Reminder.
want to come in my room? You better be ready to see me.
Yeah.
This piece is titled Bollywood Baddie.
Yes. Write it in cursive, like
Yeah.
it's your own like movie cover.
Maybe you guys can gift me a graffiti.
We'll have to. We'll
Like
come up with
that
something.
sign.
Oh yeah, the little
sign.
neon signs. Those
Yeah.
are so cool. Yeah.
Hollywood Daddy.
Yeah.
Bollywood Baddie.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah. So tell us, is there anything that you would like to add when it comes to your business, your clientele, or audience?
I feel like you explained yourself and why you
Yeah.
love it very well. Anything else people should know?
Yeah. So Boudoir is a luxury investment. It's a
Yeah.
luxury experience. What I do, the photo shoots, the whole day, it's kind of like a self-love pampering day. So it takes 5 hours in total. It's not just you show up and you shoot, kind of like what we did today. We did like a mini version of what I normally do. So normally they would come to the studio, they would have, an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes in hair and makeup. And we would sit together. I would put out refreshments, make coffee, food, all the things, and get to know each other a little bit better while they're in the chair. And then we'll look at what outfits they brought. We'll make a game plan, and then we do a 2.5 hour photo shoot. I'll bring out props. Like I have a shower set, wet set. I have a bubble machine. I have a smoke machine.
That's awesome.
I have like BDSM stuff, like all
Yeah.
kinds of like different things. And then depending on what the client wants to do, we'll photograph as many outfits as they want or brought. And then after that, we'll sit down together like we did today. We'll look at all the pictures. That takes about an hour, hour and a half. And then from there, they would decide like, I do prepayments with all my clients, so they pick a package before they come to the studio. But then during that image viewing party, they would actually pick which photos they want for their package, and then decide what kind of products they want. So I have everything from like vegan leather albums to, digital files and galleries, apps, calendars, CoverGirl magazines,
Yeah.
personal peep shows, which are like the old school retro viewers. So those are really cool. Diamond blocks. I have all kinds of fun products that I show them in the studio. So my most popular, I have a whole 2-page investment menu, but my most popular package is called the Siren Collection. And that collection includes a 10 by 10 vegan leather album. They can put themselves on the cover if they want. Some people really like that. Some people just want, the leather or a different type of fabric that I have. It includes all their pictures in the album. That package comes with 40 digital images in color, and then you also get all the black and white conversions. So you would actually get 80 pictures instead of 40. Nice. And then you get all of that in a digital gallery. You get $1,000 print credit to use towards wall art that you can put above your bed or in your bathroom. You can use it towards, any of the other products I mentioned, like a folio, a diamond block, a peep show, a USB drive. Like I have all the things that people could want. And then it also comes with like wall art and all. It is an extensive package. So that's the most popular one that I have, and that one's $3,500.
Yeah, you're getting a lot for that.
Yes, but for people looking, and I have a lot of clients like this. They just want to like dip their toes into the world of boudoir. They're like nervous about it. They're not sure. I don't know if I'm gonna like my pictures. You're gonna like your pictures.
Yeah,
but
make sure.
But if you just want to dip your toes, then I have a la carte digital galleries. So that starts at like 10 images. So I have like a 10 image gallery, 15, 20, 30, just digital images only. And that one starts at $1,500.
Gotcha.
So, and then I offer prepayment plans. People can do them through me in the studio. It's an extra percentage with like my credit card processing system. Or I also offer like PayPal credit, Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay.
You got options.
All those things. Yeah. And then most of those companies do like 0% for X amount of months.
Yeah.
So
nice.
PayPal has the best program, but like I work with all of those too.
Yeah. So if someone wants, you're making it happen somehow.
Yeah. And then what I like to tell people is like, hey, I'm doing you a favor by offering you prepayments, because if you want to book out, say, X months from now, it gives you time to pay it off. That way, when you show up to the studio, you're not thinking about money.
Yeah.
You're not concerned about how am I going to pay for these. No, you've already paid it. You've already budgeted it.
No stress.
It's done. No stress. Just show up as yourself. I literally tell people, roll out of bed, come over in your pajamas, because my hair and makeup artist is going to fix you. So you don't even have to brush your hair. Yeah. We would like it if you did, but you don't have to.
Self-care day altogether.
It really is. And, we play dress up. You get pampered. I always tell people like, hey, go out with your girls that night, or go out with, a date, because your hair and makeup's already done. You're feeling yourself. You're on this confidence high that you're not going to have any other day of the week.
Right.
So work it and take that to your advantage.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So where do people find you? Do you have a website people can look at like some samples?
Yes.
Go ahead, and you can say it, but we'll link everything too, so people like your socials.
Mm-hmm. So I do have socials. I have a website. The most fun place to be is in my Facebook community group. So we can include a link to the Facebook group.
Ladies only.
Yeah, ladies only.
No boys allowed.
Well, men request all the time, and I'm like, do you really think no one checks
they do.
this? Like, I check this, you creep.
So, okay, other socials besides the Facebook group, which is request only.
Yep. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. It's Wilder Love Boudoir. Spelled Wilder.
Description. We'll put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say Wilder or Wilder?
I say Wilder, but people can say whatever they want.
I have been saying Wilder.
Most people say that. Most people say that's fine.
Now I know.
No, it's fine.
Wilder.
Okay.
It was inspired from this song called Wilder Love by John Mark McMillan. Oh. So that's where I got the name from. And it talks about like the wilder love is hidden within us.
That's cute.
Because it is like there's this fire hidden within all of us. And I get to bring that out when you're here at the studio.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else that we should?
Do you have a website that they can go to?
WilderLoveBoudoir.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Any other questions?
I don't know.
I think I asked all mine. I think I'm good. Anything else you have?
No. Mm-hmm. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I
covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this was fun. Hopefully one day I'll be brave enough.
Our next project will be Sydney.
Try to get me on.
I mean, you've met me. You've seen the process, which is more than most people get.
Yeah, I know behind the scenes.
I rarely have visitors, so.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was annoying. Like
no,
I wouldn't want somebody here while you're trying to do that. So yeah, thanks for letting me be behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good content for me, and I mean, you really weren't in the way. Like I've had people that were here that were definitely in the way, and like you were like
a kid running around.
You were moving when you needed to move.
Yeah,
so, which
try.
I
Yeah.
appreciate.
And I think that's the good thing about her because she has done content before. She has done stuff for other people. She knows. Okay.
Well, you also have
It's a
social
process.
awareness.
And
Yeah.
social awareness.
You know, yeah, like some people just don't pick up social cues.
Like I'm about to back up.
Like-
I can be that sometimes. I can
Yeah.
totally be that. But you know, you just gotta tell me, hey.
Well, watching you guys do it did make me want to do one. I just gotta work on. Let me get a little tan or something first. I gotta feel better. But the winter makes me feel blah.
I mean,
You know?
it makes everybody feel blah.
Yeah, I
get
just gotta like get some sunshine for a couple weeks and then you'll be
Yeah,
ready.
and then you're like, wow, I'm a different person.
Yeah.
It's amazing what the sun can do for us.
Yeah, this type of thing. Once I am there though,
It's over.
Watch
it's over
out.
for all you bitches.
It is. She'll be on a whole different high.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
think I'm confident? Wait
Yeah.
till I actually am.
Wait till I actually am.
It's a wrap.
It's over for all of you.
It's all-
They're gonna be marketed too.
Yeah, there you go. There you
She'll be
go.
all out there.
Mhm.
She will.
Not too.
So let's all work together. Put your
Vote here.
comments-
Cast your votes.
Yeah, put your comments on the bottom. Put your votes on the bottom. Give me the support I need to push her.
She's
Shoot
like
just
begging
self
you.
love. And so
You're
she
like the
can
guys
do
who
the
ask me
bottom.
to make an OnlyFans.
Yeah,
No,
we're like,
really,
please
I
get
am.
naked on camera.
I'm very extra sometimes. I actually,
Sometimes.
No, never.
Sometimes she is.
if you know, you know.
I think we all have BDE here.
Yeah, I think we are a perfect union.
Yes. This is why we do well. You know?
Yeah, that's why we do well.
Yeah.
I'll go out there. I'm not scared.
No, clearly not. You showed
Yeah.
me that today.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
not
I
scared.
might be scared about all the other stuff.
Like,
I think it was a success.
It was a
And
success.
the
I'm
pictures are
excited.
beautiful, and they're gonna be even more beautiful, edited and all fancied up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll give me a couple more days
To maybe get more.
to get more. Maybe, convince maybe my husband be like, you want a picture, babe?
Please, I want 10 more
Please,
pictures.
He's
Yeah.
gonna see one and just get a taste, and he's gonna be like, "Are there
Like,
more?"
fine.
Well,
fine.
most husbands do. They're like,
Yeah.
"Are there more?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
do this again?"
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, you know what? Yeah,
They're thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
pictures
he's
that
fine.
They're thirsty.
one of the pictures that you have taken, or the one that we took on the phone, I think we should send it to him.
Yeah. Be like,
so
hey,
I have sneak peek.
There's more where this came from.
It's your sneak peek.
Yeah.
You want more? $1,500.
Yeah.
Do it.
That would be nice,
Do
huh?
it. Mm-hmm. Do it.
All right.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Appreciate you
your
both.
love
Thank you
and-
for letting us be here and do this.
and
And
experience this, especially for me.
yeah,
It was
I think
amazing.
all girls should do this at
All
some
the
point in
women
their
should do
life.
that.
That means you too soon.
We'll get there. Everyone else should do it. I'll be
Reach
there.
the preacher.
eventually.
Yeah, I'm saying, okay.
I know. I'll be
alright.
hyping it up to everyone else and be
Yeah.
like, "Have you done it?" I'll be like, "Not yet."
Actually,
I'm working on it.
It's like me always talking crap. Always watching tattoo stuff and talking
Yeah,
shit about tattoos
this
and
is
actual
equivalent.
tattoos.
Yeah.
Like I really want to get a tattoo, and I'm a tattoo virgin.
I don't have any tattoos or piercings. I've never even had my ears pierced.
Really?
Not in your
Nope.
ears.
Nope.
I just feel
Oh
like
my
people are doing
god!
it while they're like out the as soon as babies are born. Now they're like, pierce your ears.
Yeah, so my mom wanted to do that, and my dad was just like, "No, my daughter will have choices."
I think
in
he's
life."
cool for that.
He's
She's like, I don't know, I want my ear pierced.
here.
We already said our goodbyes anyway.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm in Boudoir. I have daddy issues.
A lot of girls come up in here for like,
Yeah, should be one of them. Maybe no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I have mommy issues.
yeah. Before
I'm
T
not
says
issues.
anything crazy, we're gonna go.
I have mommy issues.
Thanks for watching all of
Thank you.
her
Yes.
social sites. Everything's in the description, so go get your pictures taken.
Go
Do
like,
it.
love, share.
Let's have some fun. Let's get weird.
Yay!
Woo!